guys to Trixie Starlight Twilight Show! It's a work in progress. I'm gonna be honest with everyone here. When I first saw the synopsis for this episode and heard and saw the preview for the episode, I was immediately not thrilled to see this episode because I thought it was going to go a certain route of, like, Twilight stopping, like, Trixie and otherwise from being friends with each other and yada yada yada, but luckily, it did not go the route it did, and honestly, holy crap, this was a great episode. So the episode begins now with basically Twilight telling Starlight to try to make her own friend for Celestia's visit. Starlight tries her best in doing so, but unfortunately has a very hard time due to ponies knowing about her past but not really saying it, till she runs into a pony with her own kind of, bad past and mistakes from her past that she actually begins to relate with. That being the great and powerful Trixie. Now at first, unfortunately, Twilight does show that she is not exactly looking at Trixie as a good friend for, for Starlight, thinking that she would be a bad influence or a bad pick for a friend. But then Starlight keeps bringing out the idea of, you gave me a second chance, so why not give her a second chance? And even begin questioning why Twilight isn't giving Trixie a second chance, to the point that she actually drops a logic bomb on Twilight, basically saying, if you're willing to give me a second chance, but you're not willing to give her a second chance, then I wonder what that actually means about my second chance. The logic and otherwise in this episode was absolutely phenomenal against Twilight because she was being overbearing throughout the entire episode. She was trying to stop Starlight from making her own friends, trying to force her to be friends with ponies that she knows that she can trust. And, basically trying to find any and all flaws with Trixie, which does lead to an interesting, thing where Trixie asks for Starlight's help in a magic show that she wants to do, and they do actually begin to develop a legitimate bond with each other. However, that bond is tested, when Trixie lets her boastful nature get the better of her and use having Starlight as a friend to beat Twilight, and that actually hurts Starlight's feelings. And to be honest, I don't blame Starlight for being hurt, because she's being hurt by Twilight, who's being overbearing, and she just got hurt by Trixie, who unintentionally hurt Starlight's feelings. And we actually see that Trixie didn't mean to hurt Starlight like that, and she actually does consider Starlight a very good friend of hers. Which is really cool to see. It was a mistake. It was something that was said spur of the moment. And I think we've all had those moments where we say something spur of the moment, not thinking what we were saying, and then unintentionally hurting someone at the end of the day. It's a very common thing that can happen, and it's one that I can honestly understand in many ways. So all in all, how do I consider this episode? Thoroughly surprising. It has a really good moral behind it. I honestly love the dynamic between Starlight and Trixie, two ponies who made mistakes. Twilight did annoy me in some cases, but she did learn her lesson at the end of the day. And my god, was this episode aces with the humor, especially with that end joke with freaking Celestia being stiffed up by Twilight. And good job. Whoever wrote this episode, good job. You get a cookie. You just surprised me with this episode. That's all I'm going to say. And that's my speed impressions on No Second Prances.